Welcome back on the program. It's time to talk football. It feels like it's been months since we've been able to do that, but with the end of the school season upon us and also getting ready for some all-star games, we bring in our next guest, and that is going to be Nick McAnulty. He is the head coach of the Colony-Crest football team, but also serving as the head coach of the East team for the 8-man Division II all-star game. They'll be taking place in Beloit June 13th. Those two games that day, early morning game for the Division I game, and then the Division II game will kick off at 1:30 there in Beloit. Coach, appreciate you coming on the show. I mean, what are the steps you're taking right now, I guess, to get yourself ready for that game coming up in about a month?
It's kind of a lot of it just mental preparation, just kind of trying to figure out, where we're going to play some guys, what we're looking at, and kind of the plays that just seeing on, film that would kind of fit these guys' abilities, making sure we get in the playmakers the ball and finding out using their strengths to the best of our ability.
What was it like kind of being able to see that roster come together as a coach?
Oh, it's a ton of fun. It just, I'm somebody that really enjoys like fantasy football and all that stuff growing up. So it just kind of like getting to do your own thing with the best players in the state, choosing them. It's honestly very difficult because there's so many good players that, unfortunately that get left off the roster too, that it makes it really hard for that. But just a ton of fun,
You mentioned kind of knowing some of the stats. Like, how much research have you done, since you've seen that roster come out months ago and kind of getting ready for the game?
A lot of it's more kind of film than, stats. Honestly, a lot of it, you kind of, hear about kids and then you ask, find some film on them and just, see what they're all about.
Designing a game plan for an all-star game, like what goes into that for you and your coaching staff?
The biggest thing is just not to overcomplicate it, because you do have to teach these guys, an entire playbook in, like 4 days, something like that. So trying to keep it simple, but also making sure you have enough, just that balance of not putting too much in is kind of the biggest thing. Trying to keep it, like I said, simple, but also making sure that you're not too predictable.
For that you mentioned that practice schedule, like how many days of practice do you guys actually have, and what do you kind of go through those days?
So we'll arrive on that Tuesday and get everybody checked in early in the day, and then I think we have like one practice that night, and then it's twice. So then Wednesday we practice twice, Thursday twice, and then Friday just once.
You get all those guys together, I mean, in an all-star game. I mean, and that's got to be a lot of fun. I mean, you're talking about the best of the entire state in 8-man football. Like, how exciting is that?
It is so much fun, because it's, a lot of us with our smaller schools, we don't always have sometimes the ability to go, 8-on-8 or even, good on good. So now you really get to see how these guys compete against the best of the best, because a lot of these guys are all the best players from their teams. So now they're getting to go against, the guys they may have played against during the season, and just getting to see them come together as a team in such a short time is a ton of fun. Also, they go from strangers to, being buddies that they still, this is my third year doing. I was an assistant the previous 2 years, and those guys will still, and former players that I've had, they still communicate with those guys that they meet at this all-star game, and it's a lot of fun to see that, to where they just become instant friends so quickly.
Anything that you learned as an assistant coach, you mentioned the last couple of years, and maybe help you out now as the head coach?
A lot of it is just install, a lot more than you have to take a balance of trying to get these guys back in shape, teaching them to, do football stuff that they haven't done in months, and so that balance of getting them back into football shape, but also they got to learn everything so quickly too.
Not to single anybody out, but I mean, anything that excites you about that roster? Any guys that you're maybe especially excited to work with?
Of course, I coached with Coach Anderson as an assistant for him a couple years ago, and now his son, I met him there a couple years ago, and he's going to be the quarterback, and that's going to be a ton of fun that I get to have both those guys back. And Wes is, I can't even remember, almost one of the top passers in the entire state, so he's going to be fun. And then we have just the Axtell guys, the Hanover guys. I'm drawing blanks on names right now, but they have some pretty special athletes right there that, it's always fun to see how those guys work, and just getting to coach kids that have been state champions and just see the difference of, how they approach practice and games versus everybody else. I've tried taking that back to my kids. Like, this is how they do it. This is how the best of the best, this is how they prepare. This is what they do in practice. This is how they communicate, and, just build from there.
You talk about, your guys. I mean, that ability to coach Jensen Barker, one of your players, one last time has got to be exciting as a coach.
Yeah, it's so much fun. He was texting me last night that, he's been running, any advice on what other stuff he needs to do, trying to get prepared for it, and just coming up with that workout plan. He's my, not assistant, but he helps me out. He's one of my teacher's aide. He's my teacher's aide. So, just getting to spend that extra time with him is really special. He's one that I love to coach. He's a funny, great kid. But when it's time to go, he's ready to roll.
What's that competitive juice like, for an all-star game? Obviously it's a lot of fun, and, it's fun seeing all that talent together, but once they do roll things out and you're ready to go, what is that competition like?
So we get a scrimmage, also some of the other teams when we're there, we normally scrimmage against like D1 East and stuff throughout the day. And it's fun. It's always, we're trying to do thud, keep everybody up. And you're always seeing guys, you're having to remind them, don't tackle them to the ground. We're trying to keep everybody healthy for Saturday. Don't, it's competitive, but we're trying to make each other better and don't go too far.
For you, I mean, just coaching in general, like what excites you about coaching? Like what got you into it?
What got me into it was just for the love of the game. I enjoyed playing it so much. And when that opportunity wasn't there, I just kind of lucked into a coaching job right at like 19 after I was taking a break from playing, looking to go somewhere else. Didn't have anywhere to go at the time. Ended up coaching a junior high team when I was 19 and loved it. I'd also coached some youth sports before that. Even during high school, I'd help out with my brother's teams. And I just love seeing, kids achieve what they're capable of. So many people underestimate themselves. So when they see that success, it's exciting. It's fun to bring joy to the sport. It's a tough sport. And so seeing kids, compete and doing something hard is a lot of fun.
Hey, Coach, appreciate your time and have fun here in about a month.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
That is Nick McAnulty, head coach of the East team for the 8-man Division II All-Star game. That'll be taking place in Beloit on June 13th.